Hello everybody and welcome to our class on Gale Courses. Today I'm going to be talking about what Gale Courses is, how to enroll in courses, how to access your courses, and some other tips and tricks so you can get the most out of Gale Courses. I'm going to start by going to our resources section and then down to databases. From there we will scroll down to Gale Courses, and here the description says Gale Courses offers hundreds of courses focused on professional development, technology skills, and personal enrichment. 6-week-long courses are taught entirely online by instructors, and new sessions begin every month. We can go ahead and click on Gale Courses, and it will take you to the main website. Here you can see the Franklin Public Library logo, and this path from our website, franklinpubliclibrary.org, and navigating to that link will take you to the Franklin Public Library site on Gale Courses. If you are not a Franklin community member, if you live in a nearby community like Hales Corners, Oak Creek, or somewhere else, you may need to go to their website or go to the County Cat website and access it through the databases link there, because it does depend on what community you live in, so that you get access correctly. Okay, so this is the main page of Gale Courses, and the first thing I want to cover is this little welcome area. This is a pretty good synopsis of what Gale Courses are and how to enroll. As I said before, Gale Courses run for 6 weeks and new sessions begin every month. And down here they have this little warning: students who have enrolled in a course must log in and view lessons 1 and 2 within 13 days after the start date of the course, or they will be automatically dropped. So that's nothing bad. If you don't access the course, or if you decide to not access the course, you can just do nothing and it will automatically drop you after 2 weeks. And you can always re-enroll for a later session. You don't need to complete lessons 1 and 2, but you do need to at least view them so they know you're an active student within the 13 days after the start date. And we will get to that just in a minute. They do have a little explainer on how to enroll, and it's a pretty simple process. You will search for your class, you click Enroll Now, you select the start date, you select either if you're a new student or a returning student. If you've made an account in the past, you can just log in if you're not logged in already. And for new students, you enter your email address, complete the student information page, and then click Continue. The last step is to enter your library barcode number in the box and then click Submit. So you will need a valid email address and your library barcode handy. So let's get to enrolling in a class. Here they have their little catalog and some popular topics. You can also click View Catalog, and that will take you to this page. It defaults sort by relevance, but you can also switch it to name in alphabetical order, or you can select topic over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to select Language and Arts, and you can see here they give you even more choices to narrow it down, including arts, creative writing, and so on. I'm going to select Languages, and here we can see all of the languages they offer. Again, we have it selected name starting A to Z, and here's beginning conversational French, conversational Japanese, Discover Sign Language, and so on. I'm going to click to enroll now in Discover Sign Language, And this is the sign in or select date page. As you can see here, here's July 14th, and this date has already passed. However, it has not been 13 days since the start date, so you can still enroll and access those first 2 weeks. Otherwise, you can choose a future date in August, September, or October. Now, if you're looking at these and go, I already signed up for one, I don't want to sign up for a different course until after October, they do offer these monthly. Once this July date is past the 13 days, so on the 27th or 28th, it will then go away and a November date will start. So I'm going to select for the July 14th date so I can show you the learning path and click Continue Enrollment. So here it does give a duplicate enrollment error because I did already sign up. But this sign-in page is then where you would either put in your email and password and library card, or if you have not already signed up, you will fill out your name, address, some other information in addition to your email and library barcode. So now let's go and actually look at the classroom. So we can click My Classroom right here, and it will show all the different classes that I'm currently signed up for, which right now is just one Discover Sign Language. On the right-hand side here, you can see the start date was July 14th, and the end is September 3rd, and that will be the 6 weeks. There are 3 choices here. You can enter the class and go to what they call the learning path. You can click Orientation, or you can click Report. Report will just show any quizzes you've taken or the final exam score, as well as the amount of time spent in the class. The orientation option will give a little message from your instructor, how to get started, and some other information. This will vary depending on the classes. So I'm going to enter our learning path here by clicking Enter. So this is the main portion where you will enter your, they call it the learning path. This is where you actually take the courses. Everything up to now is just selecting a course and enrolling. The learning path here, you can see I've already completed some things with the green check mark. The blue progress bar shows that I've accessed that, so I went right away and accessed the first lesson and the second lesson so that I make sure that I'm not kicked out. You can see lessons 3 and 4 are available. They're highlighted in white, so you can access those. However, lesson 5 and beyond is still locked. I'm too early for these. And you can see it says here, lesson 5, continuing the conversation, will be available on July 28th at 2 in the morning. So I will have to wait 2 more days for that. Lesson 6 is July 30th, lesson 7 is August 4th, and so on, all the way down to lesson 12 on August 20th, and the final exam also on August 20th. They also have a resources section here that has some recommended books, other resources, and a course index. Let's go all the way back up to the top and click on Getting Started. Again, this will vary based on each class and the instructor for that class, but we can click on Course Overview, and it gives a longer description of what the class will cover, what the class is about, and gives you an insight a little bit into how your professor communicates. They also have a syllabus. I'll click that. and it details lesson by lesson exactly what you'll be learning and are expected to learn. So this will give you the overview of all 12 weeks. Moving on to navigating the course. If you've never taken a course through Gale Courses, this will be a great resource. It shows you how to access the learning path, what's included in each lesson, how to access lessons, track your progress, and so on. A great advantage of Gale Courses is they do have a discussion area where the instructor and other students can ask questions and answer your questions if you have any. We'll be covering that in just a little bit. But that's the big advantage of taking Gale Courses compared to some other online learning tools, is there is an instructor and other students that you can communicate with. So you're not completely on your own. You do have other people that you can talk to. They will also cover submitting assignments and a final exam. Next up, we'll go to the pretest, and I've already completed this. The pretest is included in all courses, and it is just that. It is a pretest to test what you already know, and then you take the same test at the end of the course to test what you've learned. So you can see I didn't even get 60%. I guessed on most of these questions. It strictly is a way to gauge where the students are coming from, if they know any, in this case, if they know any sign language, or if they are complete beginners, and you do learn by seeing the correct answers, some basic information. And I'm going to click Return to Learning Path and go to Lesson 1, Introduction to Sign Language. So on this page, the lesson you can see is broken down into 5 different chapters, including an introduction, the language of deaf culture, what is sign language, signing numbers, and a summary. There is a frequently asked questions activity, an assignment, and a quiz, some supplemental material, and down here is the discussion area. So as you can see, if you are nervous about taking online classes, about if it will be structured enough, if you've never taken online classes before, it can be somewhat intimidating, but Gale Courses does a really good job of breaking it down into individual chapters, so it's not an overwhelming amount of information. They provide frequently asked questions where you might have trouble with a concept and you can see, oh yes, that has been covered before. Let's go ahead and open that up quick. So here the first one is, what is the difference between signing number 11 and number 1? And it covers that. So again, depending on the course, the frequently asked questions will be different. And you can see what people have already asked in previous sessions here. They do have assignments and quizzes. Sometimes you can take those multiple times. Sometimes you can only take them once. And this is for you, so you can gauge your comprehension of the skills as well as the professor or instructor to see if they are teaching it properly or if they need to supplement any areas. They do have supplemental material. Let's take a look at that. And this one has a couple different links to different resources that the instructor thinks may be helpful, and they even include a transcript for this video, for the lesson video. And this is one of the most popular areas that we receive feedback for, is the discussion area. A lot of people think that online courses, you don't have any instructor. It's all based on you. You need to do the activities and that's it. but Gale Courses does have an instructor who will answer questions. And you can see there are 445 posts from 208 participants. So you are not doing this alone. There are people doing it with you and an instructor that can help you along the way. So let's dive into the discussion area. Up first, you can write a post. You can enter your title and the description here. They have all these different formatting tools. You can even upload files. Here are discussions and a note from the instructor, which is pinned to the top. This is where they can communicate some important things about the course, maybe some tips, maybe if they caught an error, they can clarify that. Here they noted that they will be on vacation, but there will be a guest instructor, so that's something that's good to know. And they also included some additional resources. And here you can see there are people who are contributing some discussions, introducing themselves, letting them know their background, things like that. And some other questions, some introductions, and over 200 threads, which is really great to see that this is an active course and there are people from all over the place interacting with each other. And you can see Erin is the instructor and she is replying to all these posts. So they don't just say there's an instructor, there actually is one interacting and answering the questions. This thread, because it's the first week, will probably mostly be things like this where they are just chatting and introducing other students. So let's head over to lesson 2. Again, here are the different chapters and the summary. The frequently asked questions, assignment, quiz, supplemental material, and discussion area. And here there are 180 posts from over 80 participants. Another note from the instructor, again giving some resources and some other tips about the lesson. So here's one asking if F and 9 are the same sign, and the instructor saying, yes, they are the same, but context is how you will know the intended meaning. So this is where if you have any questions, the instructor does answer. I have always had very positive experiences using Gale Courses and getting my questions answered if I have any, and just looking through and maybe thinking, I didn't think of that while I was doing it, but that's good to know. Or maybe someone has already asked your question. The discussion areas are completely optional. You do not need to access that. I know it might be intimidating to see that there are 81 more threads to load yet, and it may seem like it's a tall task, but you do not need to do that. The only required portions are going to be the chapters, the assignment, and quizzes. But I do recommend checking everything out and going through the discussion areas, because I have always gotten some good information from those discussion areas from other students. Okay, so this is back to the main learning path page, and up here we have the learning path, the assignments, and the discussions. This just narrows it down a little bit. So it's selected credited assignments only, and the final exam gives 100% of your grade. Again, this is all for you. Some people take this for professional development, but most people take it just for personal enrichment or building knowledge. So finishing the final exam is the end goal, but obviously no one's going to knock you if you don't get 100%. If you click Credit Assignments Only, you can see everything else that does not account for the grade and the score you get. So the lesson quizzes do not count for the grade. They are hidden initially. You want to uncheck the Credit Assignments Only if you want to see those. And you can click those, and if you haven't taken them already, that's how you can make sure that you've taken all the quizzes. Otherwise, you can see the grade, and right here they give the reminder it does not count for your grade. Clicking back on the menu here, you can zoom into just all the discussions, and you can see here the lesson 1, 2, 3, and so on discussion areas. So this little menu is a nice path, or a nice way to get from the learning path to specific areas like all the assignments and all the discussions organized all together, whereas the learning path breaks it down lesson by lesson. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I have for all the lessons. Most of them are very similar. You'll have a getting started area, that's an introduction, a pretest to test your knowledge coming in, and then lesson by lesson from weeks 1 through 12, and then the final exam, and maybe some additional resources. All the classes will be the 12 lessons, and it's 2 lessons per week for the 6-week course. The biggest thing to remember is that lessons 1 and 2 must be accessed before 13 days are up, or you will be dropped from the class and be marked as inactive. After that, you can pace as quickly or as slowly as you want. Lessons 3 and 4 are currently available. Lesson 5 is available on the 28th. So you can finish all of them at once. If you are out of town for a week, you don't need to worry about getting anything else done, so long as you get lessons 1 and 2 completed before the 13 days. So I'm going to go back to this main page here, and you can see we're back to the View Catalog page, and in my classroom, all the active courses will show. I'm only registered for this one course, but if you have more courses, even if you have registered for them but the start date hasn't started, they will show up here, and they'll show the start date and the end date. Something else that I want to note, I believe it's in the report tab, is you can actually earn a certificate of completion and print that out. So if you are doing this for some professional development or something like that, you can print it out. It's not a credited degree or anything like that, but it does show that you did complete the Gale Courses 6-week program for whatever topic. I highly recommend taking some Gale Courses. They are completely free, and they are 6 weeks long, but if you don't complete them, that's totally okay. You do not need to drop them or do anything like that. You can enroll in as many or as few courses as you like. And one thing I'm just noticing here that I didn't talk about is the course, it says, is 24 hours. And that breaks down to there are 6 weeks and 12 lessons, so 2 lessons per week. And they estimate you will spend about 2 hours per lesson. So 12 lessons will be 24 hours, and you have 2 lessons per week, so about 4 hours per week. Obviously, depending on how fast you learn or how thorough you want to be, that can be done faster than 24 hours or a little bit longer than 24 hours. The catalog does have a large wealth of classes. They do sort by relevance, which may be based on things you've taken in the past or are popular. You can also see featured courses, popular courses, and any new courses. Otherwise, you can always fall back and click on these topics over here. Let's see, computer applications. They do have classes on Adobe, Microsoft, and other applications. So I'm here in the Microsoft one. They have Excel 2019, and this is an introduction. They also have intermediate, and so on. I really hope you all enjoyed this course today and take a Gale course in the future. I have taken a few, and I've always had a very good experience and definitely learned a lot of new things. If you have any questions, feel free to stop in the library and we will be happy to help you as much as we can. Thank you for joining, and we will catch you next time.